Hey, this is Cassidy. You're listening to Butt Dialed, the podcast where we talk about all the things you said while you thought no one was listening. Now, real quick, I just want to hop into a quick little rant, discussion, whatever. So, surprise, surprise, it's Sunday and you're getting one. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to hop on here and talk about imposter syndrome and how I have it. Like, I have imposter syndrome really bad. And I think it's because everyone's always telling me, "Oh, you're doing so great. You know, I see you. You're doing good. You're doing big stuff." And I'm like, "Bitch, I'm not doing enough." Like, and I think, ow, that really hurt. Ow. Anyways, I think a lot of that comes from the fact that, like, how do I word this? So I always know, like, yeah, I'm doing a lot, but I feel like I could do more. You know what I mean? And whether that's personal life, business life, whatever, there's different aspects to that. But you know, I always feel like I can be doing more. And so when people tell me, "Oh, Cassie, like, you're doing great, you're doing wonderful," when I'm like, some days I'm like falling apart. Okay. Like, my home life sucks. My work-life balance sucks. Not to say I would change that, because I freaking, so some people have hobbies. I just enjoy working. So I mean, like, there's a difference there, and I need to realize that just because it's work, I still enjoy it. It's not like I'm going somewhere where I hate working, and then, you know what I mean? So, like, the work-life balance sucks because of that. But I don't know. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, who I surround myself with. My family's very supportive. They're great. And I thank them for always being here for me, because if not, I don't think I'd be where I am. But I also, like, I'm bad at picking who I date, guys. Like, I'm really bad at it. And this morning I had, like, this whole cry fest because there's this trend on TikTok right now, and it's like, when two worlds collide, it's Adele singing, and it's like the parents, and then it's like shows the kid. So I'm like, I wonder now that Kyla's a little bit older, who does she look like? So I went back and scrolled to, like, the archives and looked at a picture of me and her dad. And so to get there, I typed in his name. And then from his name popped up everything that had his name in it, anything that had his face in it, whatever. So then I started looking, because I think trauma response, I blocked out how mean he was to me. Like, I didn't even remember he talked to me the way that he did, apparently. And I was reading through some of the messages, and I'm like, holy shit. My whole dating life is me begging or asking someone to see the value in me based on those messages, based on what I, like, experience now. Like, the whole shit. Like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? And I probably shouldn't even tell y'all this, but I feel like other people deal with this. So maybe I feel obligated to tell y'all this because someone else is dealing with it, and I don't know. But for whatever reason, I feel obligated to tell y'all and talk to y'all about this. And I think hearing things like, for example, one of the ones I read that, like, boo-hooed me was like, your daughter's gonna hate you Kyla's gonna hate you whenever she's older, because she's gonna know that you kept her from her dad. And, you know, I do think that sometimes. I wonder, but then at the same time, I trust my gut when I say that, like, I'm not keeping her from her dad. I'm keeping her from a wishy-washy relationship with a drug addict. And I don't know if he's on drugs or not anymore. So if he's not, I hope he's not. God, I fucking hope he's not, because I hope that one day when Kyla reaches out, because it's going to happen, Kyla's going to be curious, and curiosity always gets us, right? And I hope that when she reaches out, he's in a good place mentally where he can sit down and he can say, you know, I didn't make the best decisions, but if you're ready to be a part of my life, I'm ready to give you the time you deserve. And that's all I want. That's all I want. And that's all I've ever wanted. And I read through messages, I'm like, fuck, Cassie, like, your whole life, you've fought for her. Like, you were, what was I? 20, 21, fighting for someone just to love your kid more than they loved, you know, snorting a pill. And that's not something a 21-year-old with a fresh baby should have to go through. But I went through it, and I went through it because, like, she always comes first to me. And just like Colby, he always comes first to me. Because, I mean, they're kids. They're innocent. But nonetheless, I think that hearing things like that and hearing, oh, you're such a bitch, and da-da-da-da, and this, that, and the other, I think that really feeds into the imposter syndrome, especially when it's someone that you think so highly of, like your significant other, essentially, or who you're showing your love to or giving your love to. I think that when that's the person who's telling you all these terrible things about yourself, that it starts to kick in. And I'm here to tell you, like, you can be a badass businesswoman, and a badass human, and still have like sad days. You know what I mean? Like, we still cry. And you're not alone. This is sounding corny, and you know I'm not a corny person. I'm not a cheese person. I'm not a cry person. I'm like a bitch, fix it. And that's where I need to get. But it's okay to have your days. It's okay to have your moments. Have your fucking moment, and then move the fuck on. So that's what I'm doing. I boohooed this morning. Now I'm about to show a house. So go me, bitch. Go me, bitch. And fuck anyone who ever tries to tell me that my kids aren't going to appreciate me when they're older. They may be confused and they may question it, but I think in the grand scheme of things, whenever someone sits down and they're like, oh, well, that makes sense. My mom was just protecting me from, waiting for my dad to pick me up when he was never going to come because he was too busy at the drug dealer's house. So fuck him. Fuck anyone else who tells you shit about your life that is untrue. Reality checking you is one thing. Telling you things that are simply not true is another. And you're a badass. And if you're proud of yourself, be proud of yourself, and stop letting these people, regardless of who they are, change or sway your thinking of yourself, because you're not an imposter. You're really doing the fucking thing. So keep doing the fucking thing. Happy Sunday. Y'all be good out there. And don't be a hoe. Share the show.